Hi, it's Lee from the Japanese Water Gardens. Welcome to my step-by-step guide to installing an Oasa gravity-fed drum filter. An automatic filter that flushes itself clean and requires only a moderate amount of maintenance. If installed correctly, a drum is arguably the most efficient and easy to maintain koi pond filter. In this series of videos, I will explain how to connect your drum to an aerated bottom drain, fit a simple water auto top-up with built-in overflow, and pipe in your pump, UV and skimmer. Even if you're not opting for a drum system, there is a huge amount of extra information you will want to know before you construct your pond. So get sat down with a coffee and let me show you how I would go about installing one of these amazing filters. Hi there, this is part 1 of my step-by-step guide to installing a gravity-fed drum filter. So, what is a drum filter? It is a type of koi pond filter that contains an automatic mechanical sieve. As the name implies, the sieve is in the shape of a drum. Affordable drum filters have been available now for a number of years, and they are scaled down versions of filters that are used extensively on industrial applications, such as sewage treatment or fish farming. Drum filters are quite different from all other koi pond filters in a number of defining ways. Drum filters can be small and compact. Conventional mechanical filters, such as those stocked with brushes or sponge, have to be large in size. Otherwise, they require constant, labour-intensive servicing. Drum filters are extremely low maintenance, even when operating on heavily stocked ponds. Fish solids are intercepted and directed to waste within minutes. There is no time for them to break down into phosphates and nitrates, thus helping to reduce pond algae growth. All other types of koi pond filter trap solids and hold them in the system, sometimes for several weeks. Drum filters have a dirty side and a clean side. Dirty water from the pond flows in through an opening on the side of the filter, and the only path to the clean side is through the sieve. The sieve is lined with a fine gauze to trap suspended solids. To establish a flow, you attach a circulation pump to the clean side. It pumps the clean water back to the pond. Dirty water in, clean water out. Over a period of time, the gauze on the drum becomes clogged and water level on the clean side will drop. At this point, a sensor detects the drop in level and engages an automatic cleaning cycle. An electric motor spins the drum, and a high pressure pump sprays water from the clean side onto the gauze, blasting off the solids that were blocking it up. Inside the drum there is a chute that catches the waste material and channels it out of a port on the front of the drum. As is common with many, this Oasa drum filter also has a biological media to break down ammonia and nitrites. To set up a filter like this properly and maximize the potential benefits, we need to connect it to the pond bottom drain, install an auto water top-up to replace the water that is discharged during the cleaning cycle, and pipe in the pump, UV and pond skimmer. With help from this video, it is well within the capabilities of any competent person to carry out the installation. The drum filter that we are installing is an Oasi Profi-Clear Premium Compact M. But most of the information in this video is still relevant regardless of the make or model of drum filter. In fact, the setup is practically the same for a Nexus filter or traditional bay filter. So don't be put off. You will still find this very interesting, so keep watching. Building a good pond is not hard, and it doesn't have to cost the earth. It is, however, easy to make a bad job of it. If you watch my videos, you will note that I always recommend planning and research. Most of the mistakes that people make when building ponds are very easy to avoid. Rushing into the construction stage without a simple plan is a big no-no. I strongly recommend watching some of my other videos, such as how to build a blockwork pond. It was done a few years ago, but it is still very relevant. How to fit a pond window. Pond windows are ever popular. And the sleeper pond video is another that I can definitely recommend. Lots of valuable information in those videos. Check them out sometime before you get started with your build. One of the best locations for a pond is right in front of your sitting room window. I like it because you can enjoy your pond year round. Just because it's cold or rainy doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the pond. It's also a good location for basic amenities such as power, water and drainage. So here we are. I've already started digging out. This pond will be about 4 feet deep when finished. Part of the pond is in the ground, so we need to dig out about 2 feet. Digging is never easy. Even digging this hole was a huge amount of effort. If you can get some help from a digger, it will make things much easier. Notice that I have dug out for the pond, and also this extra area at the end where the bottom drain pipework is going to pop up. When you get to this stage, you will need to consider whether the ground is good enough to take a concrete slab. If it's good, solid clay or stony hard ground, then great, just leave it as it is. If not, if it has a sandy bottom, loose soggy earth, or is waterlogged, then extra work will be needed to firm it up. A few inches of hardcore pounded down should do the trick. Above all, just make sure that the ground is firm and level. My ground on this project was heavy clay, so no hardcore needed. The next job is to install the bottom drain and pipework. It can stand flat on the earth, somewhere close to the middle of the pond. You can measure out and get it bang on if you wish to, but no one is keeping score, and it will work just the same regardless. So if it looks right, it's good enough. The drain that we are using here is an aerated bottom drain. It has a diffuser on the top to blow a column of fine bubbles up in the centre of the pond. Although they cost a lot more, this type of drain is very popular. The rising bubbles help to create a good flow of water, pulling in solids that may otherwise accumulate in the pond corners. The movement of water and the disturbance at the surface helps to maintain a good level of dissolved oxygen for the fish. They are extremely robust, built to a very high standard, and will easily last a lifetime. Also, they are professional looking, tidy, no unsightly air pipes or stones dangling over the edge. The alternative, less expensive drains are perfectly usable if you do not want the aerated unit. Connected to the drain is a 110mm pipe that will carry water into the filter system. There is also a smaller pipe that is used to carry the air supply to the diffuser. Contrary to popular belief, the water pipe does not have to be the highest quality high pressure pipe. You can use the black 110 Solvent Weld pipe and fittings should you wish. However, I would definitely avoid using push-fit drainage pipe or the rubber boot fittings. The rubber fittings are suitable for above ground work where they are not going to get crushed and could be replaced easily should they get damaged, but they should not be used in the ground. Measure out your pipes and cut. Add a bend and upstand pipe at the side. Two 45 degrees or a 90 degree swept bend would be preferable to a tight 90. When you are confident that everything is in order, you can proceed to glue the pipe together with solvent glue. I made a video with lots of useful tips that will explain a lot more about using solvent weld pipe. It's worth putting a spirit level on the drain to make sure that it is standing flat. If it needs any adjustment, you can pack it up. To keep the drain solid on the base, fill the sump up with some bricks. Should you wish to, you could plug the bottom drain with an expanding rubber bung and fill the pipe with water to check for leaks and to further ensure that it doesn't try and float up when concreted. Now everything is in place, we flood the bottom with concrete. Take care not to disturb the bottom drain. A sloppy mix of 5 parts ballast to 1 cement is perfect for this job. The amount required will be considerable, so you will either want a ready mix delivered or a cement mixer. Mixing by hand would be exhausting. It is common for extra reinforcement, such as meshing and rebar, to be installed into the base. But in my opinion, this is seldom necessary. Ponds are often over-engineered. A 4-inch thick concrete slab, sitting on a solid base, will easily support the dead weight of 1 ton per square metre. If, however, you suspect the ground stability could be undermined, then these measures might be prudent. The concrete should finish level with the flange on the bottom drain. When the concrete is properly set, we can build up the walls of the pond. There are lots of construction methods that you could choose, such as concrete blocks, sleepers, plywood lined timber frame, or shuttering and poured concrete. Each of these methods have their merits and disadvantages. I'm not going to discuss them here, as it is beyond the scope of this video. Remember to take a look at some of the other videos for a lot more suggestions. What we do need to consider is installing a skimmer and then return pipes. Returns can be drilled later if you don't want to build them into the walls, but the skimmer should definitely go in at this stage. I find it useful to draw a predicted water line. This is a good indicator that will help you set the skimmer level and later the filtration level. Skimmers are incredibly useful in a koi pond, but often they are overlooked or considered an add-on. I strongly recommend installing one into the pond wall. They strip off the very top layer of pond water, thus avoiding the greasy, bubbly froth of dissolved organic compounds. Skimmers are designed with a weir plate that bobs up and down to adjust for varying water levels. To access the skimmer, you simply twist and lift the lid. Inside the skimmer, a basket catches any floating debris, such as leaves or uneaten fish food. On the bottom of the skimmer, a threaded socket allows for connection to pipework. Most skimmers will come with screws and a flange to attach them to a liner. Skimmers come in different configurations. Wide mouth skimmers are often the preferred option, but in truth I don't see much of a benefit. I just recommend the basic, simple unit. The important thing to remember with a skimmer is the location. The skimmer should be opposite any returns. The returns will push water into the skimmer. A common mistake that people make with skimmers is to install them too low in the wall. This then means that the pond cannot be filled up properly without water leaking out the back of the skimmer. When the pond is full of water, the level should come about 2/3 of the way up the front face of the skimmer. The skimmer will need to be cemented in place or held firmly with timber structure. The front of the skimmer should finish flush with the pond walls. Don't forget to leave a short piece of pipe out the back to connect onto later. In the next video, I will give you a guided tour of the Oaza drum and show you how it can be connected to our bottom drain and pipework. Part 2 will be released in 1 week's time. Be sure to check it out. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave any questions in the comments below. It's bye for now from Lee at the Japanese Water Gardens.